Good evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome to another episode of Change Talk. My name is Tiffany Jenkins, and I am your host and owner of Awakening Change Counseling Services in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. Change Talk is a weekly live broadcast where I come on and I talk about number of topics related to leadership, self-care, um, behavioral health, substance abuse issues, a little bit of everything. Try to just kind of talk about things that I believe are relevant based on what's going on. Um, and it is just a brief check in every Thursday night at 9 Eastern Time. You can follow us either on Facebook Live or on the YouTube channel, which is Change Talk Awakening Change LLC. Um, we've got this is now show number 21. So if you see something that you like, definitely go back and check out some of the other episodes and let us know if there are some things that you'd like to see more of. Last week I talked a little bit about focus, and we use the acronym follow one course until success, right? And talking about sticking with something, seeing it all the way through before we pile other things onto our plate. And after that discussion, it really got me thinking. I know that March is Women's History Month, and I wanted to have some very profound topic related to women. And it really got me thinking about what I feel like is probably one of the number one complaint that most women that I know have. And that's just, having so much on their plate and feeling tired all of the time and not really getting enough rest. And so today I wanted to kind of share a few points about why rest is so important, especially now. We're approaching the 1 year mark of being in quarantine. It's our quarantine anniversary coming up. I know that personally, the last day that I was physically in my office was on March the 16th of last year. So we're coming up on a whole year of being inundated with all of these stats, and some of them not so scientific information about the coronavirus, COVID-19. We've had a number of losses for both publicly from our, celebrity folks, and privately. I know a lot of folks who have lost loved ones. And so it's really weighing, I think, on all of us. Having been in this kind of holding pattern for so long. And one of the things I think is very, I'll say deceptive about this pattern that we've been in is that some folks feel like, we're home. We can't possibly be stressed out. We can't possibly have, a whole lot of, like, we can't possibly need so much rest. Like, why is this a relevant topic, Tiffany? Like, why are we talking about rest and everybody's working from home and the kids are homeschooled? I think that's the deceptive part about this pandemic and everything that we've been going through, that there really is more pressure on us, and we've got more things that are pulling on us than we did before. And by that I mean, let's just take screen time, for example. That is the most obvious. Hey, how are you? Screen time is the most obvious thing to think of, right? We're in front of these screens, this artificial light that our brain is reading as daylight, except it's kind of like daylight on steroids. And it's sending a very strong message to our brain. And it's not so easy to cut off when we walk away from these things. It's putting a lot of strain on our eyes, which puts a lot of strain on our brain to really focus and concentrate. And so it's making us feel even more tired than what we feel like we should be on any given day. Then you add to that the fact that most of us have lost that clear work-life boundary that we used to have, where You had to commute to and from. So at least you had the ride to work to get you prepared. You had the ride from work to help you decompress. That weighs on you a lot. And I've been hearing from a lot of folks that they feel like they're approaching burnout. And that's a really scary thing, um, to think that people from all walks of life, whether they're teachers, whether they're professionals, whether they're support staff in various organizations and institutions, are starting to get to the point where they're feeling burnt out. And I ran across a quote on Instagram yesterday that said, "Burnout is not a badge of honor. You don't earn rest, you need it." Think about that. We don't have to earn it. We don't have to do something. We don't have to keep justifying why we just need to take a couple of minutes. You just need it. And there's some really strong science behind why we need it. I told you about the pandemic and the ways that it's affecting us in from a biological level. But let's just talk about rest in general. If you are over the age of 18, science says you need between 7 to 8 hours of uninterrupted sleep in order for your body to function at optimal levels. 7 to 8 hours. Now, with the lines being blurred and everybody being home and their, the work laptop is always right there, or the school work is always right there. Hey, Miss Linda. It's really hard to kind of shut that off sometimes and have clear distinctions between when it's time to work and when it's time to rest. But you need on average 7 to 8 hours of uninterrupted, that means no bathroom breaks in the middle of the night, uninterrupted sleep in order to be optimal. Well, why do you need that? Well, because when you go to sleep, your body takes care of some really important functions, right? One of the biggest things is that your body heals and repairs your heart and all of your blood vessels. So for all of my folks listening who struggle with high blood pressure, who struggle with heart disease, sleep is probably going to be your best friend, because it's when you are sleeping and having really good uninterrupted sleep that your body can do a lot of the work that it needs to repair itself. And who knows, you might be able to cut down on some of the medications you're on. You might be able to lead a healthier lifestyle. If nothing else, you'll have the energy to be more physically active. That's just with sleep, just getting sleep. The other thing that sleep is really good for is it helps improve your brain function. With everything that we've got competing for our interest and attention these days, you need to be sharp. You need to think clearly. You need to be able to be the rational human being you were created to be. And improving brain function isn't just in your thinking and cognition, it also helps to stabilize your mood. So some of those mood swings that you feel like you've been having, some of what you are terming anxiety or depression, some of that really is just a lack of sleep. And when you get your sleep regulated, then you can make a better, or your healthcare practitioner can make a better diagnosis of what parts of this are really pathology and disease versus which of them are just simple lifestyle changes. And then one of my favorite things that I found out about sleep is that it regulates hunger hormones. So for all my ladies who are, talking about that 10 or 15 pounds that you want to lose, when you get proper sleep, the hungry hormone, I think it's called ghrelin, is reduced. So one of the best things that you can do for your weight loss journey is to make sure you're getting proper rest. Getting good sleep helps your body, your hormones to regulate so that you're not quite as hungry, so that you don't do a lot of that mindless munching. That Elder Paul said that's me. But it's true. You don't do a lot of that mindless munching. Your body has, restored itself. And so the example I like giving folks is if you think about your brain as a whiteboard, When you're awake, everything that you do, every experience that you have gets written on that whiteboard. Well, when you go to sleep, it's your body's job to clean off that whiteboard and make it look like there was nothing ever there. Whatever notes you need to remember or things that you need to remember, that stuff goes and gets tucked away. It gets put away. We got this is we the munching squad, I guess, because that's my weakness too. But when you go to sleep, all of that stuff gets cleared out. And when you wake up in the morning, it's as if nothing ever happened. Your brain now has a clean slate. Well, when you're not getting enough sleep, it just looks really dirty. It looks like somebody kind of brushed against the board, but didn't really clean it off. And your brain is only going to write over the clean spaces. Well, you start using more energy trying to find a clean space than you do the actual writing. And you only have so much energy to begin with. So that means that your brain is going to pull from other reserves. So something's going to get shortchanged. Your blood pressure is going to go up because your brain is doing too much trying to keep the slate clean. You're going to be super hungry and be a munching monster because your brain doesn't have the capacity to regulate that. You're going to be very moody and not a nice person because your brain doesn't have the energy to regulate that. It's too busy trying to find the clean spaces to write on. So you owe it to yourself to get good rest because that rest has such a huge ripple effect on every other aspect of your life. Rest is not something that we earn. It is something that we deserve. It is the fuel that keeps us being our best selves so that we have enough in the tank to be of use to someone else. So 7 to 8 hours if you're over 18. If you're under 18, you actually need a little bit more. Although trying to convince my teenagers of that is almost impossible. If you're under 18, because your brain is still developing, you probably need around, I think it's like 11 hours, something around there. The research shows. But if you're over 18, if you're 18 and up, you need at least 7 to 8 hours to be your best self. You need to make sure that you are carving out the time to do that. And for most of us, that means developing a good sleep hygiene routine, shutting off the devices, setting a quiet transition for ourselves, whether that you take a shower and then you relax and you pray or you meditate before you lay down to go to bed, whatever it is. Having something where you get your body used to stepping down gradually until you go to bed is going to be one of the best gifts that you can give yourself. It sounds really simple. And, Tiff, can it really be that easy? Yeah, it's really that easy. What you need is the discipline to do it. And I would say find somebody who is going to help keep you accountable. Because if you've got somebody who you're comparing sleep logs with, who's going to check in with you and see if you're sleeping, most times we ask people, are you eating? You need something to eat? You got your coffee? But also check in on people that you love and make sure that they are getting enough sleep. I joke with my family all the time and I say, if you love someone, you let them sleep. And it's true. And there's actual science behind it. Nighttime snacks are out. Yes. they can be, you have to, I'm not going to say that they're out. What I'm going to say is that the less you do before bed, and especially in bed, the better you'll be. So save the snacking before you get in bed. And if you save the snacking for before you get in bed and then work yourself up to just being asleep, then it's a little bit better. And maybe your nighttime snack is what you use to signal to your body that it's time to start going to bed. My trainer would kill me if he heard me say that. But maybe the nighttime snack is that's part of your evening ritual. Do what works for you. Start small, because small steps are still steps, and you'll still have progress. She said, okay, that's good. I'm not trying to take it away from you. Far be it from me to say you can't, you just can't do it. That's not the way this works. You got to find what works for you. All right. Um, if you guys have any other chats, any other comments or anything, throw them in the chat. I'm going to get ready to wrap this up, but I am very grateful that you guys took time out of your schedule to be here with me tonight. I have been getting really great feedback about our Thursday night lives, and I did get a question about possibly streaming on Instagram as well. That is kind of outside of my scope of technological expertise, but I am working on it. And hopefully within the coming weeks, we'll be able to stream across all platforms simultaneously. But until then, if you have any questions, yes, that's it. It's a quickie. I don't take for granted that, you guys are taking time out of your schedule to be here with me. I try to just drop some quick gems. And hopefully you guys will tune back in on next Thursday. I am really excited because on not the coming Thursday, but the following Thursday, the 18th, I'm going to be joined by the founders of Distributing Dignity, which is a charity that is very close to my heart. And they are doing what is called March Padness. If you go on our Facebook page, you'll see the flyer for it. They are collecting feminine hygiene products for women in need from now until the end of March. They're doing a drive. All of the information is going to be on our Facebook page. You can see the flyer. For my YouTubers who are joining me, I am going to put the information into the show notes. Ask the babies. Yeah, I guess I could ask them to do it. You're just getting hip to the lives. Really? This is number 21, Carolyn. You got to go back and check out a few. You too. Both of you guys got to go back and check out a few and send me your ideas for topics you want to talk about. Just go to the contact us page at www.awakeningchange.org, and I will take all of your suggestions and see if we can't come up with something cool. I know you will. I appreciate you. See if I can come up with something cool. What are my other announcements here? Oh, I've got two. So first of all, this nighttime snack. First of all, I still have a few copies left. If you have not gotten your copy of Shut 'Em Down, Black Women, Racism in Corporate America, the anthology that I was so blessed to be a part of as a contributing expert, I do have a limited number, probably 20 or less copies available that I will sign. If you're interested in purchasing one, just go over to the website, www.awakeningchange.org. Look for the Shut 'Em Down anthology, and it will be there. And if you found out from the survey. Okay, good. I'm glad you took the survey. And the survey that Carolyn is talking about, if you are, okay, give me a sec. If you are a part of the Awakening Change mailing list, either because you attended an event, because you're working with me either for therapy or for executive coaching, or I've partnered with your organization to do training, or you just went by the website and signed up, or you've purchased products in the past, you're on our mailing list. So if you're on our mailing list, you want to check your email, because there was a survey that was sent out asking for feedback about how we can improve our monthly newsletter, which is a little late this month. We didn't do one in January and February. But we're getting back on the wagon for our monthly newsletter. So if you are on our mailing list, go fill out that survey, because at the end of this month, we're going to do a raffle for $25 Amazon dollar gift certificate. I said that backwards. $25 Amazon gift certificate. There we go. So if you are a part of the mailing list, you want to check your email. If you're not a part of the mailing list, go to the website. Again, www.awakeningchange.org, and you can sign up right on our homepage. That is also where you'll find the information for the anthology. It is called Shut 'em Down Anthology. And if you use the code CHANGETALK, I believe it is, the code CHANGETALK, you will get free shipping. We've got to get rid of these last 20 copies of this book that we have, because this summer I will have a project that I'm really, really proud of that'll be launching. And so we need to make space. We need to make room so that we can get ready for the launch of this new project. If you're on our mailing list, stay tuned. Later on this spring, there are going to be a couple new courses that are launched. We still have the Between the Couch and the Cross course, and the Spirituality and Treatment for African Americans course. Both of them are available. We're going to be adding some content about emotional intelligence, some more cultural competence stuff. There's just so much more to come this year. And we want you to be a part of it. We want you to participate in all of that awesomeness that is going on. So I am already well over my allotted time. But thank you guys so much for joining me. Hopefully you will be here next week when we'll dig into something. Until then, please feel free to like and share. Hey, feel free to like and share. If you happen to come in a little bit later, feel free to catch us on the replay. And again, any questions or anything like that I didn't get to today, feel free to drop by the page www.awakeningchange.org. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you being here with me, and hopefully I'll see you next week.